Welcome to Air Race X. The battle is about to begin. The battle for the super speed is about to begin. Let's go, full throttle, bring it on. Come on, come on. No limits, beat that. Osaka Umakita. At last, the champion of 2025 will be chosen today.
A high-speed time trial reaching 400 kilometers per hour and up to 12 G, where pilots race through pylons without touching them, fighting for the fastest time. 8 top pilots from 6 countries compete for ultimate speed in this motorsports of the skies. Air Race X. This is the final round of the 2025 series, where the season champion will be decided. Air Race X 2025 Round 3. Sekisui House Osaka Umekita Digital Race at Grand Green Osaka and Grand Front Osaka.
The 2025 series has 3 rounds, and this is the final. Round number 1, 77 Davidson claimed his long-awaited first victory. 2024 series champion Muroya finished second, starting his title defense strongly. Number 8 Shanka and number 18 Kopstein, both determined to return to form, took 3rd and 4th, showing their veteran skill. Round 2, Muroya struck back with a win, proving the champion's pride. Rookie Aaron Deliu impressed with razor-sharp turns and strong time for a second-place finish. Round 1 winner 77 Davidson lost to Muroya by just 0.4 seconds in a direct clash, but he still took 3rd. After 2 rounds, the points table had Muroya in the lead, Davidson just 2 points behind, and rookie Aaron in 3rd. Number 8 Shanka was 4th, still in contention but needing the top 3 to further his qualifying. The margins between the top 3 are minimal. Every flight, including qualifying points, will matter. Will the reigning champion defend his crown? Will the veterans show their grit? Or will the new generation shine? The decision in the final round begins now.
Round 3, qualifying.
Teams attempted their time attacks from their own bases. Each team had only 2 qualifying runs. They could either fly both on the same day or watch others' times before choosing their moment. Strategies varied greatly over the 10-day attack week. First to fly was Deliu. He posted a strong 61.42 seconds with no penalties. The time to beat for the rest of the field was set. McDonald was next on the first day of attacks and posted a strong 63.065 seconds, securing a good qualifying result. Shanka flew on 2 consecutive days. On day 2, he bettered his own mark with a clean run, 64.885 seconds. Davidson opened with a 63.52 second, no penalties, good for provisional 3rd. He held that as a safe banker time, planning to push harder on the second run, depending on conditions, of course. Brageau attacked, but picked up a 2-second climbing through the gate penalty, finishing with a disappointing 68.65 seconds. Muroya, on his run, aiming for a strong qualifying position to help in the title fight, he delivered a clean 62.4, jumping to 2nd on the leaderboard. Velarde attacked from Spain, recording a very clean run, 66.441 seconds. Number 18, Kopstein, also flew, but with a 2-second climbing gate penalty, he ended up qualifying at 69.9 seconds. The leaderboard stood at Deliu first, Muroya 2nd, McDonald 3rd, Davidson 4th, but Muroya and Davidson still had their second runs to fly. Deliu's 61-second time was clearly outstanding. Could anyone else get even close? Muroya fired up for his second run, pushing aggressively to the clock at 62.105 seconds, faster than his first, but just shy of the 61. which left in second position. A good solid start for Muroya, and he needed that. The final run was number 77 Davidson's second attempt, crucial for keeping his championship hopes alive. Attacking boldly, he posted 62.17 seconds, climbing to third and earning 3 valuable qualifying points, but falling 0.6 seconds short of Muroya. The gap in the standings widened.
The qualifying results. First, Deliu, dominant. And second, Muroya, gaining 5 points and edging closer to the title. Third goes to Davidson. And fourth, McDonald. Fifth, Shonka. Sixth, Villarde. Seventh, Rajo. And eighth, Kopstein.
Deliu's opening run proved unbeatable, making him top qualifier for the second race in a row. Shonka's title hopes ended here. With qualifying points added, the standings were Muroya, 58 points. Davidson, 54 points. Deliu, 44 points. Only these 3 remain in contention for the crown. Based on the qualifying results, the quarterfinal matchups are Heat A, Davidson versus Villarde. Villarde is a clever racer, likely to set steady times. Davidson must win to stay in the title hunt. Any penalty would be fatal. Heat Bravo, McDonald versus Shonka. McDonald has shown speed and is adapting well to the new aircraft introduced in the last round. Shonka, a former champion, will fight to the finish. Heat D, Deliu versus Kopstein. Deliu, our top qualifier with a stunning time, must win to keep his title hopes alive. Kopstein is known for bursts of speed, and an upset is possible if everything clicks. Heat C, Muroya versus Rajo. Rajo has yet to find form this season, but could rediscover his fast rhythmic flying. Muroya, the points leader, cannot afford a quarterfinal loss. Every heat could influence the championship. Don't take your eyes off the action.
Round 3 is set in Osaka, redefining the live sports experience. 2 iconic locations, the brand new Umekita district in front of the Osaka station and the Osaka Kansai Expo, host the same race simultaneously. The Expo venue features the Umekita cityscape, while Umekita features the Expo venue, a world-first attempt to merge 2 locations into one race. Identical racetracks appear in both venues, with live coverage from each. It's a unique air race X event, blending real aircraft racing with cutting-edge digital technology. The Round 3 track is a technical 800-meter course with 5 pylon sets and 15 gates. The blind climb. After the start, pilots sprint through 4 gates before facing the blind climb. At nearly 400 kilometers per hour, they pull up from level flight, the ground vanishing as they climb past 500 feet. With no visual reference, only instinct, rhythm, and training guide them upward. The low break. At gate 8, immediately after a punishing climb, G-forces reach their peak. The secret, swing left before rolling into the right turn, like a rally car on a gravel, to set the perfect entry. The Big 8. Gates 10 to 11 form a sweeping sequence of linked turns. Here, rhythm, not raw speed, decides who wins. This is the rhythm chicane. From the wide turn at gate 12, it's full power and acceleration to the finish gate.
Masters or new generation? Who's stronger? The answer lies in the quarterfinals. 4 each round 60 seconds. Every one battle you can take your eyes off. Now, the grand finale of the 2025 season is here. The stage is set. Osaka, Japan. It all starts now.
Quarterfinal. Heat A.
the wind is a massive factor in Aero SX. It's something that you cannot control. It's also something that changes within like seconds or milliseconds. This track specifically for me, well, I think for everyone, was a lot more challenging than the others. The VTMs definitely where the race is won or made. Our main enemy flying here in summer is the heat, also the wind, because the wind is very related to the heat, so we have some changes in wind direction and intensity. The temperature is a big issue.
Davidson, third in qualifying, cannot afford to lose if he wants the title. Every flight carries immense pressure for the new generation to seize the era. Victory is essential. Velarde's sixth in qualifying is always calm under pressure. His clever, consistent flying could be a real challenge for Davidson. If Davidson loses here, Muroya will be within touching distance of the championship.
And here we go for quarterfinal, Heat A. Velarde on the left, Davidson on the right. Who will carry on to the semifinals? Weird action right now with Velarde on the left. Maybe too relaxing. Maybe he didn't like something, but let's see. All right, they have to come to the start speed correctly, and they do. No penalties there. Now, this is critical. There's 5 gates that they navigate. Lots of speed here for this big vertical turning maneuver. It's a high turn. Davidson, a great turn. And that, it looks like he's gained some ground on Velarde. Davidson coming down for the 2 low turns. These are going to happen quickly. And you can see Davidson continuing to increase his lead. 0.92 seconds so far in Sector 1. Let's check it out in Sector 2. That's coming up in just a second. Another great low turn, and it pays off. 1.52 seconds ahead of Velarde. All he has to do now is fly penalty-free, and he will carry on to the semis. It looks like Velarde's just too relaxed right there. He needs to pull harder G. Davidson's more aggressive, and it's going to pay off on this final vertical turning maneuver. Again, perfectly flown by Davidson. You can see he's clearly in the lead. It's a sprint to the finish. He's got almost a 4-second lead, and that is how we will end it. Davidson will carry on to the semis. Velarde, we're waiting on him. He will finish a distant second place.
Winner, Patrick Davidson. 1 minute 02.201 seconds. No penalty. Let's take a look back at Velarde versus Davidson.
So what we're going to focus on here is the difference in technique for the large pull-up gates, the high G gates, and the importance of consistency in G. Both pilots flying very well down to the first pull-up gate, similar attacks, but then Juan just letting off the G coming through the vertical, which adds extra distance, slows the airplane down, especially at the top of these high turns. That really hurts the time. We're going to see losing up to about 1 second on each of these high turns. Sometimes this can happen due to kind of an aggressive pull to begin with. The pilot's worried about overjeting, so they relax the stick a little bit, but that just really hurts the sector times. And after that point, there's just not much you can do.
Heat D.
Going into race 2, I felt a lot more calmer and more prepared. I didn't do any mods to the aircraft. Instead, I focused on fundamentals, and I think it paid off. I think we did really good in qualifying. I was really happy with the pace I set there. And then going into the each following round, I was really happy with how we performed. And then, of course, we went up against Yoshi, the Don, in the final stage, and he's a master, very hard to beat, and he took the title for round 2.
We use the sim to have really a lot of opportunities to try different angles, different winds, and try different setups and get all the mindset where are we gonna pull, how hard we wanna pull for the real racing, because you don't have that much time in the track and you really need to spend a lot of time on the simulator to have everything thought of before you enter the real plane.
Deliu, first in qualifying and the only pilot who marked 61 seconds, has shown incredible pace. Back-to-back top qualifier, second in round 2, and an outstanding rookie campaign. Kopstein, 8th in qualifying, has a reputation for raw speed. He finished 4th in round 1 and could cause an upset if everything comes together. For Deliu to keep his title hopes alive, he must advance to the semifinals and then wait for Muroya's result. The race heads to the Osaka Expo. Pylons appear, transforming the venue into a race course. The Umekita venue and the Osaka Expo are now connected in parallel through digital twin technology.
Moving now to Osaka Expo, so all the fans can see the race action live. On the left is Kopstein, on the right is Deliu, getting ready for quarterfinal D. Good start for both pilots as they navigate the first 5 gates. This is a critical turn right here as they pull the vertical turning maneuver, the high turn. Deliu with good G on him. It shows good form, carrying that energy back to the back half of the track. Let's take a look at that second time, 0.92. Well ahead of Peter Kopstein. Oh, a 2-second penalty climbing through the gate. It looks like he knew that. Unfortunate for Kopstein because adding 2 seconds to his time with a good pilot like Deliu is going to be almost impossible to make up. And there it is. There's Deliu with 1.81 seconds ahead of Kopstein. Coming back through now for that final vertical turn maneuver. You can see the pilots are getting themselves set up, and then it's a sprint to the finish. Here comes that final vertical turn maneuver. Let's see what the lead is now, and it's going to be big, 3.17 seconds. Deliu's going to carry on to the semifinals, extending his great run on race 3, his great efforts. Kopstein, although he gave it a good shot, that penalty was just too much.
Winner, Aaron Deliu. 1 minute, 02.074 seconds. No penalty. Let's go through Deliu versus Kopstein.
Both pilots with a good clean start, good angles through the gate, smooth runs, maybe just a little bit behind for Peter Kopstein coming down to gate 5. Kopstein a little bit late on the pull-up, but not too bad. But you can see here, just a little larger radius, going a little bit higher. And these are the little details that make all the difference. So now he's going to have to be in the chase, hoping for Aaron to make a mistake, which is, based on his current form, is unlikely. Coming down to the other end of the track for the low turn, gate 8. Oh, and you can see Aaron taking it absolutely on the limit. Peter also pushing to the limit, just pulling a little bit early, getting that climbing penalty, 2 seconds. That's going to be nearly impossible to come back for unless there's another penalty from Deliu. Again, this is the kind of thing that you see. You need to take that risk in order to get the reward.
AirSX technology, creating an entirely new style of sport. AirSX uses cutting-edge technology to create an entirely new style of sport. There are 3 key elements that make this possible. Live flying, precision sensors, and graphic visualization. Each team commands the advanced skills and technology to compete at the very pinnacle of aerial motorsports. Safe, precise, and world-class. In the AirSX remote race and digital race, teams race from their local bases around the world. At every home base, the identical race course is mapped out, defined with pinpoint GPS precision. On that course, flying in their race aircraft, pilots push for the fastest time. Ground markers reveal the exact center of each pylon, defining the racing line. Each aircraft is equipped with a remote data unit, capturing flight data with extreme precision down to 1,000 of a second and within just 3 centimeters. Since the pylons are not visible while flying, teams place markers on the course, and any penalty during the run is instantly flagged with visual and audio feedback. Pilots can hear the system call out, "Pylon hit." All recorded data is transmitted to race headquarters, where it's collected and analyzed, then formatted into official race data. That data is also shared with each team in 3D, helping them refine their strategy and improve performance. From the race data, a complete digital recreation comes to life, enabling the race to unfold anywhere we choose. Not only can athletes competitively battle from various places around the world, the racing can be experienced simultaneously in multiple locations or shifted across different times and venues. By merging real-world sport with digital reproduction, AirRaceX is redefining what sport can be.
タイリーのアプリケーションをスマートフォンに入れていただいて、空を見上げると実際に飛行機が飛んでいるというものがですね、重ね合わせて映し出されますので、スマートフォン越しにレースを見るということになります。通常ですと、飛行機レースはその場所に集まって1箇所でしか見れないんですけども、同時にですね、2箇所の場所にぴったりと合った形でデータを配信することができるので、まさにパラレルなデジタルツインをですね、使った表現をですね、実現しております。
Heat B.
I really love flying the edge. The edge has been something I've adapted to really quickly, which I was really surprised how quickly I was going to adapt to it. I actually thought they were going to be quite different. But obviously being set up by Matt, they're very similar in the way they fly, although they have their strengths and weaknesses as well.
Round 3, it's a little bit similar track, just it's more narrow, so there are not that hard curves, not that much G's. Of course, in the pull-ups there are still the same G's, but not during the, let's say, the horizontal flight.
McDonald, fourth in qualifying, debuted her Edge 540 in round 2 and finished fourth. She's adapting quickly, and if she can fully unlock the aircraft's potential, she could go higher. Shonka, fifth in qualifying, is a proven champion. After taking third in round 1, he's looking to end the season on a high. Expect a seasoned, calculated performance.
Okay, for quarterfinal B, we're going to stay in Osaka Expo. On the left is McDonald. On the right is Shonka. Shonka, the veteran. McDonald, the rookie. All right, here we go. Let's see how they do. As they come through the start gate, they have to be under speed, and they are. Good start for both pilots, and they're very tight right now. Oh my gosh, neck and neck. As you're coming into this critical vertical turn maneuver, and it looks like Shonka. Look at that G. Oh my goodness. What a great turn, and I think it's going to pay off. It does, 0.15 second. It's still very close, but it all came on that vertical turn maneuver. Now, these two low turns are critical as well. You've got to be aggressive and pull the G. Look at the strain on his body. There's that big hard left, hard right, and then back left. That is a great strategy by Shonka. That's called cutting the corner, and look at his sector time, 0.43 extended. He's continuing to do very well as they set themselves up for the last vertical turn maneuver. Coming right about here. There he goes. You have to cross the pylons now before you can make that turn. And look at that sector time. Shonka, 1.39 seconds. He is going to carry on to the semifinals. He's going to be very happy with himself. McDonald should also be very happy. What a great run by both pilots.
Winner, Martin Shonka. 1 minute, 02.689 seconds. No penalty. So this is McDonald versus Shonka.
Let's break down a very, very close heat here between Emma and Martin. Similar start techniques, both flying very cleanly down to the first pull-up gate. What we're going to find is that this really is just a heat that comes down to the details. And when you fly against somebody as consistent and on the money as Martin, you just really have to put it all together at every single corner. Halfway through the lap and really, they're just neck and neck. It's very hard to tell the difference between the two. But coming down again to the end of the track, now we're going to see what makes the difference. Martin really pushing the angle, pushing the G, staying as flat as possible. Emma taking a slightly more conservative angle, a little softer pull-up, and just this little bit of climb and descent. Adds some extra distance, adds some meters. Now it's going to be very hard to make this distance back up. So both pilots flying very well, but again, Emma just slightly taking it a little too conservative through that low turn pull-up gate. Now, as we complete the lap, again, once you're behind and chasing, unless you've got some really good wind conditions and the other pilot makes a mistake, there's not much you can do through the end of the heat.
Heat C.
There's not much update for round 3. We got a new winglet using from round 2 that works especially for the high angle attack. So at the round 2 racetrack is quite turning a lot and tight track. So in that track, the new winglet works better.
With the high turn and low turn strategy, the G-force were more acceptable, I would say, and gives you the possibility to get focused and stay focused on the strategy, on the line, and on the energy management. So yeah, I quite like the track.
Muroya, second in qualifying, leads the points. With Davidson already in the semifinals, a quarterfinal loss would cost him the championship. He needs to win here and face Davidson head-to-head in the semis. Rajo, seventh in qualifying, has struggled to find rhythm this season, but when he hits his flow, his fast, flowing style is hard to stop. A crucial battle, who will seize the momentum?
Okay, we're back at Osaka, Umakita. This is going to be an interesting match because Muroya on your left must advance if he wants to win the overall championship series. Rajo can be a spoiler on this race. He's clearly out of the overall series championship, but he could ruin Muroya's day. Okay, good start. Coming through the first 5 gates, this is where it's important. You got to be on top speed, and for some reason, it doesn't look like Rajo is making full power. Muroya, what an incredible turn. Now, that's how you do a vertical turn maneuver. Let's take a look at that first sector time. I would imagine this is going to be quite fast. Yes, a full second ahead of Rajo, and Rajo is actually losing distance against Muroya. It's almost as if he is not getting good performance out of his engine. Watch now as Muroya has these low turns. Great form, absolutely perfect. 2.5 seconds ahead of Rajo. And it's just a matter of timing now. Rajo kind of lagging behind. Something could be up with his aircraft. Okay, coming into sector 3 for that last vertical turn maneuver. Watch this classic Muroya turn as he comes over the top. Oh my goodness, 5 seconds ahead of Rajo. This could be a great run. Let's take a look at the clock. Man, there it is, a track record, 60.96 seconds, a new track record.
Winner, Yoshihide Muroya. 1 minute, 00.965 seconds. No penalty. So this is Rajo versus Muroya.
This heat is a great example of the key to being successful at Air Race X. We're going to see Yoshi being very aggressive and Mika, unfortunately, being just a little too conservative. It really outlines the 3 key elements that you have to master. The first is the pull-up timing for each of the high G gates. The second is how you hold that G, getting that high G and holding that G to make the tightest radius possible. And finally, the angle that you take for the low turns. In this case, you'll see Yoshi really on the limit, really pushing it. Now, of course, this is risky, but this makes time. Mika being a little bit careful in his pull-up timing, a little bit careful in his G, and definitely a little too careful on the angles, as you see here. And what that means is that each time you get to one of these high G turnaround gates, it's just adding too much distance, too much time, and it's almost impossible to come back from that without the other pilot making a mistake.
Let's review the quarterfinals. Heat A, Davidson clocked a fast 62-second run to move on toward a possible title. Rd.3, battling the heat, made small mistakes and couldn't match the pace. Heat B, McDonald pushed but fell just short against Shanka's sharp flying. She's adapting well to the new Edge 540 and has potential to be a contender. Heat C, Muroya set a record-breaking 60-second lap, advancing smoothly to the semis. Rajot couldn't adjust his pull-up timing and lost time. Heat D, Deliu maintained form with times close to the 61s. Kopstein picked up penalties and ended his 25 season here. The title fight narrowed to Muroya and Davidson. They will face each other in the semis. If Deliu wins the final, the points gap means he can't take the championship crown.
The Masterclass was the top category of the Red Bull Air Race World Championship, featuring only the very best. These were elite pilots, chosen for their exceptional flying skills and rock-solid mental strength. Among them, Muroya and Shanka stand out as the 2017 and 2018 world champions. True giants, even among the masters. On the other hand, the new generations are from a time that never knew the Red Bull Air Race.
Let's go race.
Now in its third season, Air Race X is seeing the new generations show real speed. Masters and new generations, what sets them apart? The new generations have never raced through physical pylons. In other words, they embody Air Race X.
They've flown through real pylons before, whereas I haven't flown through real pylons before. So whether it's an advantage or a disadvantage, I'm not too sure. So I've learnt using the ground features and everything that we have in Air Race X from the very beginning. So my mindset is very set on what I know, whereas the guys who from the Red Bull Air Race days may have different mindsets in how they're attacking things based on the history of where they've learnt to fly.
I think sometimes when you're experienced in a specific area, you can be so focused and maybe stuck in your ways of doing things. And as time goes on, you know, innovation, new ways of looking at things and doing things can sometimes beat potentially outdated methods. I'm not saying that that's the case in this way. Maybe I'm hoping that that's the case.
There may be a difference in how they approach Air Race X. It could be the difference between picturing invisible pylons standing on the course or never imagining pylons at all, and instead visualizing only the pure racing line they must fly through.
We're trying to fly more on the Red Bull Air Race side like we used to have it before. So kind of like flying through the pylon like if they would be there. And we just recently found out that it's probably not the right let's say attack for this kind of competition, because all the other pilots are just cutting the gates through, just leaving not any inch more than needed. So it's a completely different style. I think if there would be a pylons, these race lines wouldn't work. So this is really important for me to kind of forget about the style of flying I have and learn something new.
In race reviews, you'll often hear the term angle cut. Instead of entering parallel pylons head-on, the pilot approaches at a sharp angle. This allows them to set up the perfect racing line for the next pylon after passing the gate. With real pylons, the steeper the angle, the narrower the space to pass through, and the pass that would lead to pylon hits and time lost through penalties. In Air Race X, there are no physical pylons and a greater gap between the pylons. Wings do not have to be level, which means pilots can take bold, aggressive lines. However, pulling this off is anything but easy. It demands a race strategy built on precise calculations to determine the optimal angle cut for each course layout. And above all, the skill of a pilot who can execute that strategy flawlessly in flight. The new generation's teams may be just a little better at quickly spotting these subtle new changes and acting on them. In fact, data shows they are relentless in their training, flying more sessions and testing a wider variety of racing lines in practice.
I think that the hunger for the newbies is probably a little bit greater than that of the veteran pilots. We have a platform in which to show our worth and to prove ourselves. So I think that's where the difference will come in. I don't think it's a mindset. I think it's a want from somewhere here.
Previous Red Bull Air pilot, especially the champions, not going super well now. Because maybe we are used to too much about with flying between the pylons, and for the Area 6 with the gate markers, flying technique is a little different. Like a turning and the G's and pilot technique is kind of similar, but its tactics will be a little different. Some pilot who could adapt to this new Area 6 system is winning and going faster now, I think.
Of course, the masters carry with them a wealth of knowledge and proven race theory built from years of past competitions. As long as they continue to evolve, adding fresh updates to their hard-earned experience and achievements, it won't be easy for the new generations to leap over that wall in a single bound. The pilots are beginning to sense that Air Race X is a different kind of race from what came before, and they are searching for ways to expand themselves to adapt. In this pursuit, it may no longer matter who is a master, a new generation, or even a champion. Semi-final.
All eyes are on the championship battle. Either Muroya or Davidson will take the title. They meet head-to-head in Heat A. If Muroya wins, the championship is his immediately. If Davidson wins, the result will depend on the third-place race and the final. In Heat B, compact pilot Shonka faces rookie sensation Deliu. Deliu is out of title contention, but will be pushing for his first victory and to make his mark on the veterans. The semifinals will start with Heat B, following the points ranking order. Let's go racing!
Heat B. Number 7. Aaron Deliu.
It's become to a point where I don't even think about it. It's like breathing to me. It's just very natural. So G's aren't something that is something that I have to consciously think about or strategize or plan upon. I'm able to withstand a lot of G's and handle it. My body subconsciously already kind of reacts before I put on the G's, which makes me able to pull 12 G's consistently with no effort.
A rookie with blistering speed, who we now all know is hard to stop. The championship is out of reach, but he's improving and determined to claim his first win. Can he create a new rookie legend in the season finale?
Okay, we're set for semi-final B. There's Deliu. Now, he must win to carry on to the finals, and he's had a great race 3 so far of the 2025 season. Good start as he goes through the first 4 gates. Remember, this 5th gate is kind of a blind turn. Oh no! Deliu has a 2-second penalty for climbing through gate number 5. That's easy to do. It's kind of a blind pull, and he saw it right there. A big sigh. He knows he has a 2-second penalty, but now he has to carry on. He has to pull through it. He must not let that affect him the rest of this race. As he's coming through the other low turns, very critical that he maintains an aggressive approach, and he does with over 10.2 G's on that very, very strong G turn, that low turn. All right, he's going to come back up, and he's going to set himself up for one more vertical turn maneuver. This is the same gate that he was climbing in on the first time through the track. He's got to pick it cleanly, and he does. Very nicely done. Now remember, he's been flying in that 61 range, not the track record that we had Muroya fly, but with that 2-second penalty, it's certainly going to add some time. Let's check out the results.
Number 8. Martin Shonka.
My preparation for the air racing is just continuous process. I know how to work with myself, and Joseph is helping me with the preparation just before the flight, and that's it. That's how we work. In case we would have like a more condensed race schedule, then of course we would have to like readjust it and make it like a much more professional way.
This season, Shonka took third in round 1 and reached the semis in the finale. With his champion experience, can he use his maturity to book a place in the final?
All right, the second pilot, Shonka, as we see here, is racing against Deliu. Remember, Deliu had that 2-second penalty, and Shonka's been flying well all race long. Good start, and they're kind of neck and neck right now as they go through the first half of the track. Now, this is where Deliu had that 2-second penalty. Look at Shonka. Although he's behind right now, he looks in good position. That was a great vertical turning maneuver. Although Shonka needs to find something here, he's a little bit lazy coming into this turn. You can see Deliu a little stronger. Shonka's already behind by a full second. That is unusual because Shonka should be more aggressive. He has to go for it, and he seems to be kind of flying kind of defensive driving. There's Deliu out front. You can clearly see the ghost plane. And Shonka coming up behind, and he's coming up behind by 2 seconds. This is not good. Come on, Shonka. You've got to pull harder. You've got to fly more aggressive. I think he knows it now. There could be something going on with him physically or possibly something with the machine. Here's that last vertical turn maneuver. He's kind of holding serve, but he's down by 3 seconds. It's not going to be good for Shonka, and it looks like it's going to be Deliu on to the finals in race number 3 of the 2025 season.
Winner, Aaron Deliu. 1 minute, 03.976 seconds. 2-second penalty. Deliu versus Shonka. Here it is.
So we're going to see here a rare example of somebody able to win a heat even though they have a penalty. Both pilots very nice down through to the first pull-up gate, and as you can see, Aaron Deliu pulling much too early, getting in the climbing in the gate penalty. But that's the kind of risk that you need to be taking in order to get the super fast lap times. So it doesn't work out in this case for him. Now he's going to just have to be picture perfect through the rest of the lap. Really clean, really aggressive down at gate number 8 and through all these big pull-up gates, just right on the limit, getting the angles, getting the G, super, super clean, and he's going to manage to pull this off even with a 2-second penalty.
Heat A. Number 31, Yoshihide Muroya.
Of course, there's a lot of chance, but there's a 2 big high turn VTMs are the key for the time. So the timing for the high turn and G control for the high turn will make a time difference.
A championship deciding battle against second place Davidson. If Muroya wins here, he secures the title. His quarterfinal run produced a stunning 60-second lap. Can he repeat that?
Here we go for semifinal A. This is a very critical race, particularly for this man, Muroya. He has to win to carry on to win the overall championship. Well, that's not 100% true, but it would guarantee him a victory. Okay, good start for Muroya as he comes through the first 4 gates. Remember, gate 5 is so critical. Great pull right there by Muroya. Always so strong on those vertical turn maneuvers, the high turn. Coming through the backside of the track now, he's going to have 2 consecutive low turns. Watch as he sets himself up, a little wing to the left and then a pull to the right. It's absolutely perfect. He has a great split time at 15.97 in the first sector. That's very solid. Coming back through for another slow low turn. Looking very strong again. And he's at 28.86 seconds. That'll all come into play in just a few moments. It's a good, solid run so far by Muroya. All right, it's a big push now. That final gate where he has to do that vertical turn maneuver, he has to turn at exactly the right time, and he does. He pulls up perfectly, comes over the top, wasting no speed, wasting no real estate, and it's a final push for home. I don't know if it's going to be a track record, but it's going to be close. How close do you like it?
Number 77, Patrick Davidson.
It's difficult not to think about it, but to be blatantly honest, I mean, my focus was on trying to get the best times for us as a team. But yeah, I would have preferred to be ahead by like 50 points, but it's not the case, so yeah.
Davidson broke through against Muroya for the first time in round 1. If he wins here, the title isn't within reach. Muroya's time is 62.809 seconds. That is the target. The biggest showdown of 2025 begins.
All right, here comes our second racer. There's Davidson live in the cockpit now. This is a critical race because he must win if he wants to win the championship. Muroya, on the other hand, has a little bit of leeway, but what a great start time as they both start speed, as they both push right on the edge, and it is neck and neck. Muroya is in the lead so far. We're going to take a look at that first sector time here in just a second. But Muroya with that great vertical turn, we talked about that a minute ago when we called his race. Yes, and he's almost a full sec ahead of Davidson as they come into these very critical low turning maneuvers. These are important. You must be able to gain speed on these low turns. You have to be aggressive. The green smoke is Davidson, and what a turn from Davidson as he barely nudges out Muroya with just a few gates to go. He's cut Muroya's lead in half, and we're coming in for the final push for home. This vertical turn is going to set the stage for the rest of the race. Who will be the championship series leader after this race? Who will win the championship? We don't know, but right now this is too close to call. Who's going to win it? It's a sprint to the finish. Muroya, Davidson, let's wait for the official call.
Winner, Patrick Davidson. 1 minute, 02.379 seconds. No penalty. Davidson versus Muroya. Here we go.
So in a critical heat for the series, let's unpack this here. One of the things that we aren't as easy to see for this type of remote racing is the flight conditions that the teams are trying to fly in. And this is a great example of picking the correct conditions and maximizing it by Patrick. On the initial rundown, you can see Yoshi takes what appears to be a little bit of a lead, and this is most likely due to the fact that Patrick is flying with a considerable amount of headwind at the beginning of the run. Both pilots really pulling tight, really staying right on the limit, but that little bit of headwind that Patrick starts with loses him a little bit of time, but now he's going to gain some energy using the tailwind in the correct position, and this gives him a chance to come back at Yoshi. Again, both pilots flying very similar lines, very similar approach, high risk, high reward, and we're just going to see now Patrick has the tailwind. It's a chase to the finish, and that's what it takes to make all the difference.
Let's review the semis. Deliu versus Shonka. Despite a penalty, Deliu advanced to the final. His speed was consistent. Shonka attacked hard, but over-rotated in turns, costing time. Muroya versus Davidson. Davidson edged Muroya by just 0.43 seconds in the championship's biggest head-to-head battle. But the title wasn't decided yet. Muroya would now fight for a third-place match, with his hopes still on the line.
Third place match. A crucial third place race for Muroya to keep his championship hopes alive. If he misses third, Davidson becomes champion immediately. If he takes third, the title will be decided in the final race. The matchup is Muroya versus Shonka, eternal rivals. Shonka has stood in Muroya's way before, notably in 2017. Across time, a clash of rivals begins, each putting pride on the line. Two legends, once again, set the stage for the drama of the 2025 Series champion.
The race for third place is on. This is more than just a podium finish position. This is all for Yoshihide Muroya. If he gets third, his championship hopes are still alive. More on that later. Good start for Muroya as he goes through the outbound portion of the course. In a great vertical turn, he has been so consistent on gate number 5 as he comes back down for these critical low turning maneuvers. There's 2 low turns back to back. Muroya is an expert at cutting the corner and finding speed. Nicely done. So far, so good. That 16.08 first sector time is solid. Anything in that 16-second range is good. 28.8 is absolutely amazing for the second sector. Let's see how he does as he's coming through. One more low turn, and then he has that high turn, the final vertical turn for Muroya. He must win this race if he wants to win the championship series. He's going to be up against Shonka, and he'll be flying next. Great vertical turn, 49 and change, coming into the final push for home. Let's see how he does. 2 more gates to go. He's got to lay down a good first time. Check it out. And Muroya posts a very solid run, 62 and change. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Shonka. Remember, this is for all the points. Muroya must finish third to win the championship.
Muroya's opening time is 62.385 seconds. A benchmark that will decide the fate of the championship. Can Shonka push past that mark in his run and claim a place on the podium?
All right, and here we go. There's Shonka. This is more than a race for the podium. This means the championship. Muroya must come in third. This is a third-place race, and there goes the start. Shonka and Muroya neck and neck as they go outbound on the course through gate number 5. This is that critical vertical turn maneuver, and both pilots executing quite well. Look how close it is as Shonka on the left, Muroya on the right. They are side by side, there is no doubt. But Muroya is so savvy on these low turns. Look at Muroya pulling away. Shonka went high and wide. That is going to be a critical error. When you're behind Muroya, in this case just a fraction of a second, there is very difficult to catch Muroya. And there it proves it. A second and a half, Muroya is ahead of Shonka, which is a few more gates to go. Now it comes down to this. One more vertical turn. This is a critical, no errors, and there is a chance that Muroya will carry on, and it looks like he will, as Muroya goes up and over the top. Almost a 4-second lead. Good news for Muroya, as he will get not only the podium, but his chance for the championship series in 2025 is still alive.
Winner, Yoshihide Muroya, 1 minute 02.385 seconds. No penalties. Muroya versus Shonka. Let's go.
So I think what we're looking at in this heat is Martin flying in some adverse conditions. You can see on the initial run down through the slalom, Yoshi carrying more ground speed, meaning that Martin most likely has a fairly decent headwind that he's having to deal with. Pull-ups looking the same, good radius from both pilots, a little bit of an angle difference over the top of that first high turn, and this again could point to maybe some crosswind or some other atmospheric conditions that are being a real challenge for Martin. Through the rest of the lap now, Martin maybe climbing and descending too much through this low turn, as you can see Yoshi getting some gap. But yeah, just through the rest of the lap, Yoshi just continued to pull further and further ahead, which leads me to think Martin's flying in the summer, hot and humid, could be an engine setting issue, could be some turbulence. Late afternoon flying can be very, very difficult. At this point, really no way to make up this type of gap.
Air Race X 2025, Round 3, Final. In the third place race, Muroya won, and he now sits on 73 points. If Davidson wins the final, his points are a total of 79, enough to become series champion. If Davidson loses this final, his points are a total of 72. It's 1 point short, making Muroya the champion. Davidson must win. Deliu chasing his first ever victory won't ease off. Both are part of the new generation, each having trained with the reigning champion as their benchmark. This is set to be a final that signals the dawn of a new era.
We're going for the finals next.
Number 77, Patrick Davidson.
I'm obviously the rookie in this whole thing, so I hope to build a fan base, but those that follow me, I'll try my best and I'll fly the South African flag as hard. We all want to win, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
And first to fly the finals is Mr. Davidson. There it is, good cockpit view. He must win this race if he wants to win the championship series. Okay, good start for Davidson. He's been flying well all race long. Great runs, awesome speed. Good vertical turn right there for Davidson as he comes up and over the top. Remember, we're looking for a solid sector time. He has to lay down a fast time if he wants to beat his head-to-head competitor in this race, and that being Deliu. Coming through the first low turn looks solid. His first sector time is good, but not as fast as he's been. There could be a little bit of nerves on Davidson as he knows this is for all the marbles coming into that other low turn. Solid turn, but again, a little slower for Davidson. He's not going to get that really super fast time that we've seen out of him in the previous qualifying runs. All right, this is for the finals. This is it. There's a live cockpit view of Davidson as he's going now outbound for that one more vertical turn maneuver. Big high G pull right there. Nicely done. It's a sprint to the finish. He wants to lay down a fast time. That is critical if he wants to win the championship series and also win this race. Let's take a look at the results. Okay, that concludes our final race, and it all comes down to the final statistics. Who is going to be our winner? Let's find out.
Number 7, Aaron Deliu.
Hey, let's go fly.
Year one was introduction. So I was introducing you to me. I'm here and I'm serious and I'm gonna race.
And it comes down to this. Can this pilot, Deliu, be the spoiler and upset Davidson's chances of being the championship series winner? There's a good start. They are neck and neck. And it looks like Deliu has a slight advantage as they go outbound on the course. This is a big vertical turn. Good solid G. And it looks like Deliu is in the lead. Davidson is going to be in jeopardy right now. Let's take a look at those sector times. Yes, Deliu is in the head. He is totally in the lead by 0.37 seconds. All right, coming in this nice vertical low turn maneuver, it looks like Deliu may have made a little bit of an error. He's still slightly in the lead. Coming into, yes, he did. 0.17 second behind Davidson, and Davidson does not need to make an error. He must press hard. He must continue on. Deliu trying to find that speed, pulling as hard as he can. It's going to be one more vertical turn maneuver. This is for all the marbles. This is for the championship series. This is for the race winner. The third race of the 2025 season is on the line, and it looks like Davidson is going to do it. Davidson with over a second advantage over Deliu. The final push for home. Who's our champion?
Winner, Patrick Davidson. 1 minute, 03.019 seconds. No penalties.
And there you have it. There's your champion, Patrick Davidson, wins race number 3 of the 2025 season and the overall championship. All smiles for Davidson as he outperformed the 7 other pilots in the race. What a great performance for that man from South Africa.
So one more time for Davidson versus Deliu.
So here we go. This one's a bit of a dogfight. Good start from both pilots. Really clean down through the slalom section of the track, coming up to gate 5 pull-up. Man, almost identical pull-up, identical G, really similar radiuses. Looks like Aaron's able to pull just slightly ahead, maybe just a little bit more G on the initial attack. Still extremely tight. As we come down through gate number 10 now, maybe Patrick's starting to see this little bit of an advantage. A little more angle, a little bit tighter, a little cleaner flying. Gate 12, and again, it's going to be a really close one. Yeah, Both pilots right on the limit of pull-up angles. Patrick probably just a touch bit earlier on the pull-up, really getting that timing down. And Deliu, a little soft for the VTM. He goes a little bit high, still carrying good energy, trying to catch coming back down. It's a really great effort from both pilots, but Patrick is just too fast to catch.
Nice one. Nice one.
Final race for 2025. Now it's the long wait to see how everyone did and of course how we did, but to be honest, I don't think with the wind that we had now for this run we could have gotten any faster. The plane, the pilot, everything was on the limit. So yeah, just glad it's all done and everyone's safe, and yeah, I think we actually did exceptionally well. So yeah, big thanks to my team.
Cool, yeah, and thanks to AirRaceX and the guys. Yeah, it's been a great year.
Patrick Davidson, his second victory for the season, a strong, flawless flight rised him up to the top. In second place, Aaron Deliu, back-to-back runner-up, finishes his rookie year, mark him as one to watch. Third place went to Yoshihide Muroya, whose record-breaking lap times showcased his consistent speed. And fourth place goes to Martin Schonke. Fifth, Emma McDonald. Sixth, Mika Brajo. Seventh, Juan Velade. And eighth, Peter Kopstein. Once again, the new generation delivered strong performances, clearly emerging as the rivals of the Masters. Let's talk through about the round 3 and the 2025 season of AirRaceX with our race analyst, Benjamin Freelove. Hi, Ben.
Hi.
Let's talk back about this full round 3. First of all, let's look back at Peter Kopstein. He finished in 8th place.
Yeah, it seemed a little rough. I think Peter was probably really struggling with the conditions. I know that they've been having a lot of heat and humidity in Europe, so I expect to see better things from them in the future.
Humidity. Finishing in 7th place is Juan Velade. He seemed to have some issues there with the heat too, didn't he?
Yeah, same type of situation. Juan's flying at probably the highest elevation airport that we're racing at, and that always poses a lot of challenges.
Definitely. And Mika Brajo.
Mika is, flying at the same location as Juan, so I think struggling there, and both those pilots probably just struggling to find the lines consistently.
Definitely. And how about Emma McDonald? She finished in 5th place.
Yeah, I think, Emma's really impressed me with how quickly they came together. It's a new location, new airplane, putting it together at the last minute. So I think good, solid mid-pack performance is really kind of a good position for them.
Our veteran, Martin Schonke, he has finished in 4th place. He had an intense battle with Yoshi for this round 2. What are your thoughts?
I think Martin is right on the verge of completely figuring out how to rise to the top again in this type of racing.
It is a surprise. Our Yoshihide Muroya, the former champion for the series, finished in 3rd place for this round 3.
Yeah, Yoshi, I think it was just the slight struggle with consistency. So some seriously fast laps and then also good laps, but just not being able to lay down the ultra fast lap every single time.
And finishing in 2nd place, Aaron Deliu. This was a good battle against our new champion, but your thoughts about him?
Yeah, after round 2, really no surprises there. Aaron's come out hard and really just putting it all together.
Our new champion, Patrick Davidson, he had a phenomenal season, but looking back at this round 3, he was really, really strong, wasn't he?
Absolutely, basically flawless. So happy for those guys and really see all their hard work pay off. I expect them to come out even stronger next year.
AirRaceX 2025 season. The champion is Team 77, Patrick Davidson from South Africa. It was a phenomenal season looking back at it, but how do you think about 2025 AirRaceX?
Yeah, I really think the story this season was the newcomers getting up to speed a little quicker than some of the air race veterans. So some of those guys come back and fight hard next year.
When you talk about catch-up, is it about how they take their lines?
Yeah, I think there's some line strategy there, some airplane setup strategy, and also maybe how they approach practice and just preparation. So it's just really have to attack it from all angles.
When you talk about the difference of the new generations and the former masterclass pilots, what kind of difference did you think they had?
I think it's mainly in the way that the newer pilots are finding the line and how quickly they're finding the line. That's really the key is where's the good geometry, where can you take some risk and really get those fast sectors and able to put all that together.
So you think they will adjust to the way the new generations flow this year?
Absolutely. I expect everybody's going to be pouring over that data the rest of this year, moving into next year, and just trying to find where they can find those little tents on each part of the track.
Definitely. And this was the third season of Air Race X. What do you think was the difference compared to the last 2 years?
I think the competition level has risen quite a lot. So, people are highly motivated to win, and the teams are really starting to come together, get their procedures together, and it's really just going to get tighter and tighter, I think.
So the competition itself is evolving, but what do you think that pilots in each teams, what kind of strategies will they bring us for next year? And what kind of development will they bring to us?
Yeah, I think the primary focus for most of the teams are going to be in really figuring out the line analysis as best they can. So pouring through that data, thinking about some strategies and how to come out of the gate fast next year.
So we'll be looking forward for 2026 season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be an exciting year, and looking forward to see who can get it all together next year.
Benjamin Freelove, thank you very much for joining us as the race analyst for Air Race X 2025.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Really had a fun time, and looking forward to doing it again.
Yeah, see you next year.
See ya.
So, Air Race X continues to evolve and will return next season even more advanced. For the latest updates, check our website and social media channels. See you next season. Bye.